Hello everybody, it's your boy and here I'm coming at you guys with another YouTube video. So in today's video it is going to be the best build for Bunny for farming within this game. So without further ado, let's get right on into today's video. Before we do that though, real quick, my creator code is going to be on screen right now, so please do use that code, top link in the description. Other than that, my Discord server is going to be linked in the description, so if you need any help or just want to join a nice community for the first Descendant, that is over there for you to join as well. Now with all of that out of the way, let's get right on into today's video. Starting off, this is going to be a build on Ultimate Bunny instead of the regular Bunny variant. Now if you don't have Ultimate Bunny, this is something that will give you a little bit of help. This is my mastery rank checklist document, which is going to tell you where to find all the blue weapons, the purple weapons, and soon to be in the future, the gold weapons. But if you go on over to the Ultimate Descendants checklist sheet over here, you can see that if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see Ultimate Bunny and a list of which material patterns you're going to need, what difficulty you're going to want to farm them, the location, the mission type that you are going to want to do, whether they require stealth or not, the drop chance for every single one of the parts, the actual drop chance of the part from the actual material pattern, and then the opening method on all of these parts as well. So you know, this document is designed to give everyone a little bit of a hand in finding their ultimate descendants. It's already getting updated day by day. We are gonna have a list of all the descendants, all the ultimate weapons and everything coming in the future, so please do stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's talk about this bunny build then. As you can see, this is the build right over here, designed specifically for farming. Now for farming, we are going to be using high voltage. This is going to get rid of our electrical circle for our lightning emissions ability and make it so that it will one-stop zap every single enemy individually. Next mod is going to be MP conversion for skill cooldown and taking away from our max MP. Now cooldown is going to be very important for this build because we are trying to run this in a almost infinite manner, and this build does also include infinite running. We obviously have to increase our HP a little bit, so we are going with increased HP to make our bunny a little bit less of a glass cannon. Next up, we have focus on electric. This is for electrical power and to also reduce our skill cooldown. Maximize range is going to help massively because it is going to increase the range of our third ability, and high voltage is going to take advantage of that one. We have focus on singular on this as well, which is going to increase our singular skill power and also reduce skill cooldown. If you look over here, you will see that the third ability on Bunny is also a singular ability, so this is going to give us a massive boost. Now for the maneuvering, I have gone with long distance, but it is completely up to you which maneuvering mod you want to throw onto your own build. Next up, we have maximize conservation. This is again to make our skill cost literally nothing, and this also does have a little bit of a downside, which is negative 20% to our skill power modifier. Next up on this build, I have the narcissism mod. This is going to make it so that if we are using our second ability and we do not run into any obstacles, we literally will have infinite sprint with Bunny. Next up, we have enlightenment to increase our Bunny's max MP. Now I've not put another catalyst into Bunny, but if you do put one more into her, you are able to make this max level. Next up, we have skill expansion, again for range. This is going to be a build that is going to absolutely destroy and have a massive radius whilst doing so. And then we are going to finish this off with strong mentality. Now I know you are looking at this and thinking this is a generic bunny build for our second and third ability, and for that, more or less, you would be correct. Most bunny builds are generically the same. However, this is the bit where I'm going to separate myself from, I believe, almost every other bunny on the internet. If you have a look at your tier of mods and you switch over to the gold and ultimate tier, this is where I'm going to get jiggy with it, as one would say. So I have narcissism running for unlimited sprinting. Now if you wanted to switch this with multi-talented, that would be a good idea to increase your damage. If you wanted to add on veteran tactics to basically get extra cooldown, that is something I would also recommend. MP collector is also another mod that I would greatly recommend on here. Now the way that I have built this bunny specifically is that you have the capability of running any ultimate mod on here out of all the ultimate mods in the game, and it will most likely have a good effect. If you wanted to throw Iron Will, you could have a lot more defense on your bunny, making it a much more viable option for maybe potentially running bosses. But if you are running bosses, you are going to want to do something a little bit different. But I personally do run with the narcissism, specifically because I do think that that having unlimited sprint on Bunny is a massive bonus. Another great recommendation is Dangerous Ambush. If you are absolutely running up on enemies that have no idea you are there, this is going to give you a massive boost in your damage. This build is essentially a template to absolutely dogging with a lot of different possibilities with all of these ultimate mods. Remove the narcissism and you've got a damaging build that will absolutely push your third ability to its limits, and you will also be able to change the effects like so over here. Now with the Bunny out of the way, let's go on over the reactor and the external components. For my reactor, I have a tingling singularity reactor. My weapon is the enduring legacy, which I have right over here, one of my favorite weapons in the game and an absolute boss destroyer, along with the skill power boost ratio being electric and singular. Again, we do want to push the singular and the electric because of the third ability being a singular and a Bunny being an electric descendant. My two skills at the bottom are not the greatest, however the skill hit crit rate is actually not too bad. The dimensional skill is more or less useless though. Ideally you want to have electric skill, range, or singular skill, or critical hit rate or critical hit damage on your Bunny for maximum damage for your third ability. As for the external components, I did mention that this is a farming build. As of right now, this is just a pure balls to the wall power build for your third ability. For your external components, the first one I've gone with is one that increases your module drop rate and also increases your Kuiper shard drop rate. That means whenever you run this build, you are more likely to get modules dropping and also allowed to get more Kuiper shard just from generally playing. The next one I have is a character XP gain modifier and an MP recovery in combat. Now this can also be exchanged depending on whether you are leveling or not. If you are leveling your stuff up, do run that sort of a sensor. If you are not leveling yourself up, then you can run something with max MP or something with shield recovery or consumable drop rate increase modifier, which is going to force more drops, and that is the one primarily that I do recommend. Now one important thing on all of this is that you are going to want one of these with at least a little bit of MP recovery modifier. MP recovery in combat works perfectly good, and this is the sensor that I would also recommend. MP recovery in combat along with max MP would be a great finisher, just like this Slayer set over here, or sorry, Slayer sensor over here. This would be a great push for your Bunny. This is because when you use the speed of light ability, this constantly puts you in a state of combat. So having MP recovery inside of combat would mean that whenever you have your ability active and you're running fast, you are going to be able to counter the skill cooldown, pushing it into the negative range, which means once you have your narcissism maxed out, you will have infinite sprinting. Next up, for my memory component, I do have a gold drop rate increase modifier. Now you can absolutely run this without one, it does not make a difference. However, running a gold boost as well as a module and Kuiper boost is just going to be a great combination for having boosts all across the board. Again, I do recommend one with MP recovery modifier or defense, but ideally you do want to have the gold increase. That is the main focus over here. Now for your processor, again, anything does not matter. I've got max shield and shield recovery modifier to make my Bunny survive a little bit better over here, but you know, the last component is completely optional in my opinion. Now I've shown you what this Bunny build is, so let me show you what this Bunny build is capable of. So first of all, let's go on over the Bunny sprint. So whilst using a second ability, obviously you start sprinting. The higher the stacks that you allow to get, the less MP drain you will get in the long run. As you can see, by the time I reach 7, 8, 9 or even 10, I literally have infinite running with this Bunny config, which is just honestly insane to think about, because we are running this to farm, and if you are running operations or have a mission to do in a nice wide open area, you are going to have unlimited sprint whilst doing all of this farming. Farming gold and every other material using the Bunny build is just going to be disgustingly easy. As you can see, I'm running through and absolutely deleting, melting and absolutely dogging on every single one of these enemies, along with this other Bunny over here. So you know, Bunny duo or P, and as you can see, this just deletes all the enemies within this game, no problem. Bunny is overpowered and I absolutely love Bunny to death. Would I ever want her to change? Absolutely freaking not. You can see these 350,000 crits, not the highest in terms of the numbers, but in terms of the actual damage and the overall balance of this build, you can run a single mission with no problem, a bunch of missions. Farming generally with Bunny has never been easier than with this config. Also, something to remember is you do have that good or gold buff because of that component, meaning whenever you do a single run of the abandoned refinery unit mission, you're getting yourself about 70,000 gold in about 30 seconds. As for farming out operations or anything of the sort, you can see that the longer the bunny sprint scales, the easier it will get. Running through missions has never been a difficult task anyways, but if you have unlimited bunny sprint, it just gets that much easier. On top of that, just having the insane levels of damage capable with this config means that whenever it does actually come to farming all out, you will be getting extra everything across the board because of the components, meaning that all around this is generally just a safe bet and a good config to have for general farming. Like I said, this is a completely interchangeable template. You can change up the components if you want to make it do something else, and that gold ultimate mod is something that you can change out too. So I've given you what I believe to be the ultimate template for bunny to go let your creativity, your power and your imagination run wild with everything that you want to do with bunny. So guys, that has basically been this video, and I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and if you have enjoyed, leave a comment. If you built bunny differently, let me know how in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. But again, that's been this video, and I hope you've enjoyed. Please do smash that like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.